One of the things I find interesting when I look back on my career is the arc of the global story, if you like, during that time. When I was leaving university and coming into news, the big story in the world was the collapse of communism, the Berlin Wall coming down, and so on. Now, I'd grown up in the Cold War. I can remember with my parents going through to East Berlin. I grew up on all those brilliant, nuanced, grey Cold War thrillers, John le Carré, Len Deighton, and so on. And it was incredibly exciting that the wall came down. After all, some people termed it the end of history. It looked like the final triumph of Western liberal capitalist democracy. And yet here we are in the modern age, and we've come a long way. And in a sense, you almost could say that it was easier back in the Cold War when everything the Russians was up to was at least behind the Iron Curtain. Today, they're in every aspect of our society. They're interfering in elections. They're trying to promote division, as well as being once again on the march as a major power. I see that all around me, all the time in news, and all the things I used to take for granted about the stability of democracy and our lives doesn't seem quite so much so anymore. And I really wanted to find a way to channel that in my writing. I've been a writer for 25 years and written about all kinds of different things, from the Troubles in Ireland when I first started, which was my first reporting job and gave me my idea for my first novel. But here with Secret Service, this is just a proof copy. The hardback will be even more of a lovely thing. I just wanted to channel all that, the story of our times, everything that I see around me that is interesting. I wanted somewhere else to go with it. So that was the impetus to the novel. I also really have had a totally separate career as a writer, training in the School of Hard Knocks, which is under my agent Mark Lucas, who's very brilliant. And he always pushed me to focus on the great thrillers, not just the Len Deighton's and the le Carrés that I mentioned, but also Silence of the Lambs and Presumed Innocent. These brilliantly structured thrillers where everything, as you read through, seems to deepen the jeopardy. And they're set, all of those that I've mentioned, against these sort of wonderful, nuanced and interesting political backdrops and so on. So I was really looking for something that was both a big idea that was going to potentially work on that kind of scale as a thriller, but was also going to channel the story of our times. And I really hope this is it. It's certainly the best idea I've ever had. I've never enjoyed writing a novel more. I've never written one as fast. It just came flying out of me as a kind of my mind as a more or less fully formed story. So I hope you enjoy it.